Welcome back to another episode of the Spotlight with Nine. And I know, guys, I've told you that I will see you guys on next 2025, but I couldn't resist myself to bring up a special episode on this in between Christmas. Let's say it's a gift from Nine's end. For a good reason, we are back because our guest today is someone who has recently shook up our community scene. Of course, he's known for his casting, his skills, his bold opinion, okay? And most recently, his very controversial post and also a very truthful one about the some tournaments and organizations. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a heartwarming welcome to Fredo. Fredo, welcome to the Spotlight.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Zita.
You can call me Nine because there's another Zeta on the scene, so I don't want to take his spot.
Okay, sorry.
It's totally fun. How was your day?
Well, it was fine. It was a lot of work to do as well, for the upcoming tournament. But yeah, it was a busy day, I'd say.
Oh yeah, I mean, it is cold, right, in your region?
Yep, it's pretty cold here right now in the Northeast.
I wish I could feel the same, but yeah, I mean, you pay off, right? I hope whatever you're working on pays off, but I will ask you the question again later on. But what I really want to, first of all, let me thank you for making to the podcast. I mean, I was anticipating, okay, maybe he would decline. But I think you saying yes has actually lit up my podcast once again for the wrap up for the year. So thank you once again, Fredo. Is it Fredo or Fredo?
It's Fredo.
But okay, so is that your real name or like is it your stage name?
Well, it's a stage name, and actually it's inspired by, I don't know if many people know about him, but there was a Alucard player back in the day when I used to play MLBB when I just started it back in 2018. So his name was Fredo, and he used to play Alucard, and he used to belong to the Malaysian team called Boskur. So yeah, I took the name from that.
That sounds really interesting. So you said you have been playing since 2018.
Yep.
So it has been quite long. What was your first hero though?
The first hero, if I actually talk about it, when I was very, very noob, when I was in Grandmaster. So in those days, I used to play the Tigreal a lot because as a tank, you don't really die much, but the other heroes are quite squishy, so you keep dying. So that's why my first favorite hero was Tigreal. But after that, as I moved on to higher ranks and I started to understand the game, I understood that if you're a jungler and if you farm up, then you can actually dominate the game entirely by yourself back in those days when the meta was the one who has the most farm wins. So yeah, because of which I picked up Alucard and I really liked that hero. And when I looked at how Fredo played, it just inspired me to name myself Fredo and start spamming Alucard.
So that's how the name really started up. That's interesting.
Yep.
So isn't Tiggy still your fave? I mean, right now it's in meta, right? I mean, I will not say meta, but right now the pick is so much for Tiggy.
Yep. So I do like. Are you talking about Diggy the hero here?
Yes, Tiggy the hero.
Oh.
Not Diggy. I'm talking about Tigreal.
Oh, you're talking about Tigreal. Oh, I thought you were talking about Diggy. Sorry.
Nah. I like to call Tigreal Tiggy. So.
Okay. That's your style, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I was a little confused there. If you're talking to me about Diggy or Tigreal, so yeah, I do pick Tigreal, one of my most favorite tanks, you'd say, because the setup that you can do, it can change the entire game itself if it connects well, and if your teammates give you backup. So yeah, I still like that hero. And whenever I get to play Rome, I usually pick that hero.
I see. So you started playing in 2018. So right now you're in casting scene more than playing. Am I correct?
Yep.
So when did you actually started casting?
Well, it's not been long actually. I started it this year only. I started it at August actually.
Oh. Oh yeah, you did mention that in your video as well, right? What made you
Yep.
start casting though?
Well, first of all, I actually the thing is I am into public speaking quite a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
I have been participating in debates, in extempore, in speeches, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, sort of things like that. So
Mm-hmm. No wonder.
because of which, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So
because
because of
sorry.
which I So because of which I wanted to try my hand at this thing as well because I'm good at the game, I understand the game, I can talk about it. So why not talk about it? Right, so I can if I can cast then I can talk about the game and I can, entertain people as well. So I really like to do that. So yeah, that's how I got into casting. And the
Mm-hmm.
person who actually gave me my first break, his name was Zita.
Oh. Oh, that's why you call me Zera. So I will not take away his honor. Um, but like talking about casting again, would you, if you were given a chance to do a play-by-play or an analysis, which one would you prefer?
I would prefer to do play by play actually
Mm-hmm.
because I really I think my voice is quite strong and I
Mm-hmm.
think I can pull the attention of people
Mm-hmm.
with my voice. So yeah, I think because of that, play by play will be a better thing for me to do. And of course, with the fact that I am good at pointing out players, I'm
Mm-hmm.
able to put the spotlight onto certain players. I
Mm-hmm.
think in the recent Northeast Cup which happened, I
Mm-hmm.
actually made a few fans of some players because I was
Mm-hmm.
putting the spotlight on them again and again. So if
Mm-hmm.
people remember the name called Bakimart after the
Mm-hmm.
Northeast Cup,
Oh, yes,
I think
yes,
some of that
yes.
credit goes to me.
Oh, so credit to Fredo for making that, giving them the spotlight to the player. I think even as a casters, right, it's really important for us to give the highlight to the player. That's so true, Fredo, and I think you delivered that. And talking about the Northeast, like you casted in the, I mean in the online, right? Not
Yep.
in the LAN. Were you there in the
Yeah,
LAN?
I did not. No, I was not there at the LAN. That's
Oh,
unfortunate.
I mean, were you hoping that you would?
Yep, I was really hoping I would because I think among the people who were actually casting at that time,
Mm-hmm.
all of us were actually competing for the spot at the LAN,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I do believe a lot of people who got there deserved it, but I feel like some people deserve more than those who actually got the place.
Mm, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I would. I mean, I don't think you are comfortable in mentioning those names, right? Because we are all in
Yep,
the
yep,
same
of course.
community. So I think for a safer side for Fredo. Okay, otherwise they will come with guns and to cut near your house and pull up their guns on at you. Anyway, I mean, your recent video have really blew up, right? And you just told me that you got like how many views again?
It's about to
20?
reach 20K. Yep,
Dang, and that also in just a span of 2 days, correct? Is it 2 days
yep.
already? It's 2 days, yeah. I mean, it
It's
has, they have actually, you have highlighted a lot of point, but I think we have really touched to the own, like only the surface level. But before
yeah.
we go on that, we, jump to that event. I want to talk about, you said you're working on something. Can you take me on a journey with you?
Yeah, currently I'm working on conducting a tournament
Mm-hmm.
because I've been witnessing the tournaments which have been happening and I'm to be honest I'm a little dissatisfied with the way
Mm-hmm.
things went.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a person who does not really like to be patient and sit still, I just thought
Mm-hmm.
that maybe I will do it myself. So,
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of friends who are ready to help me as well. And after this video, I mean the support that I got, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
some people from Philippines and Malaysia itself,
Mm-hmm.
they told in the comments that they really want to see India on the global stage and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, the Indian fans as well, those who actually support this game, they commented that
Mm-hmm.
they really want to see India on the global stage. So when I
Mm-hmm.
saw all those comments, I really could not help myself. But like the plan was already there, but the boost that I needed I think these people who made those comments and shared the video
Mm.
and even came to my Instagram DMs and
Mm.
on my posts as well, liking them and
Mm.
commenting down on them. So all of that just boosted my my confidence. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that is why I finally decided to go with this tournament that I'm planning right now. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this tournament, I think the special thing about this is going to be the fact that we're trying to make it in such a way that it seems professional, and we're going to copy the entire thing which was done in the M6 as well. So yeah, we'll be bringing that M6 experience to India. That's what we're hoping for.
Wow, that's a big statement there, Fredo. I hope we actually get that whatever you're saying it come into reality. So, that project of yours that you're currently talking about, I'm sure you're with the team, right?
Yep. Yes, I'm with the team.
Yeah, you're with the team. Like how long do you think like this will actually that you guys will able to really put it together? Like by next year, like can we get some estimation?
Yeah, actually, the thing is, we already decided it quite long ago. We have been planning since a few months, you can say.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, we see that in January, we our plan was to initially do it in January, but we're seeing that there are some other tournaments lined up as well. And if we
Mm-hmm.
do the online phases right now, then it might clash in March with the board exams and everything. And we don't really want those players who are like 16, 17. We don't really want them to get discouraged by this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to plan it in a time where everyone will be free enough and everyone will have
Mm-hmm.
ample amount of time on their hands so that they can completely focus on our tournament and try to
Mm-hmm.
give their best. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because of that, we have decided to shift the dates to April. But yeah, of course, this is something that we have not really finalized
Mm-hmm.
because we still need to discuss it with the community as well. Because I believe if we are going to do something for the community, then why not take feedback from the community? So
Mm-hmm.
but
True.
as we're recording this,
Mm-hmm.
just after this podcast that I'm doing here with you, we are going to have a
Mm-hmm.
meeting with the community.
Oh wow, that's I mean the initiation that you are doing, it's great. I think you are like one of the first person that like who spoke the truth right away. So applaud to you for your boldness out there. But you mentioned about you are planning to do like M6, like that needs a lot of budgeting. So I mean you're saying with such confidence, so I'm hoping that you actually have a very good backup as well.
Yep, we are in in talks right now with a lot of
Mm-hmm.
companies.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really reveal too much about it, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and we're in talks with some players as well, some
Mm-hmm.
well-known players, well-known
Mm-hmm.
international players and international
Mm-hmm.
casters as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yep, we're trying to bring that all together. I know it's very difficult to for us to make this happen, but
Mm-hmm.
before saying that, yeah, we're going to do it, I'm going to say we are trying to do it first. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean that's great, right? I mean this bring a lot of hope to the even to the youngsters who are playing. I mean I've in the previous episode I had a yeah, we had a very fun episode with Radium as well. He said I've been playing this for so long but never really got an opportunity. But if someone come alongside to, help these people, when I say these people, it means the players, for the exposure, I mean that will be a big, win-win from both the side. And you even mentioned about that you're not happy with the organization, the organizers. I mean, why is that? I know you have mentioned. Could you do the, you know, could
Yep.
you refer it back, take us back to what you said?
Yep. The thing is, in the final event itself,
Mm-hmm.
the matches which were played, a player was playing from home.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that is something that is not even in the rule as well. I mean, even though you are able to make exceptions in some cases, but the
Mm-hmm.
fact is that the team actually had a substitute there,
Mm-hmm.
but the substitute was not, I mean, he was not playing. Actually, they made a person who was sitting at home play.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that is something which actually turned off a lot of people, not just me. You can see the entire community itself, and because of that, people were really upset. People lost faith, and I've been seeing that, people commenting online about all these things and the backlash that the entire organization faced. So, and other than that, you can also talk about the favoritism thing, which has been going on around ever since the community tournament started. Because the top teams have always been favored because, of course, they get more views and people, come and watch the stream when they're playing. So of course that's going to be true every time. But the thing is, as an organization, if you want to make the small or the small teams realize that they are valued, then you have to treat them equally. And on top of that, if you do not do that, then you're discouraging them from performing. Because if you keep favoring those strong teams all the time, when will the small teams get a chance to rise? And when will they get that courage to come out on top, right? So I'm so I think for a while that the organizer should actually stop taking in this strong teams all the time, because these days I see only two or three teams winning all the tournaments. So it has become like a diamond farming competition or something. So these strong teams, they are getting all the diamonds, they are taking away all the views as well, and every organizer is after them, like they're almost always inviting those teams to get those people on board and make them play. But the thing is, if you keep doing this, then you're going to keep hurting the people who are actually supporting the smaller teams. So, like, suppose if there is a small team where my friend is playing, then of course I'll go and watch that stream, right? But when I get there, I see a lot of fans of the bigger teams, and we see them trash talking when our friends are playing, and we get discouraged. Like, this community is not even it's not healthy. It's very toxic. So yeah, because of these behaviors, those players who are actually trying to do something, they get discouraged. And I feel like if you want the players to actually play, if you want the players to develop, if you want them to feel good about playing this game and get better at it, then you need to give them a chance. And the chance that you're going to give them, it can only happen if there is no favoritism, and if there is a proper seriousness about the entire esports thing.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, you just talk about even the backlash, right? There's a lot of people who are like supporting what you have put it out on the table, but also there are like people who are saying that putting the, what do you call it, putting the fuel on the fire, because it has broken the community into more of like Northeast and the mainland. I mean, it has always been there, but it sparked, the division have sparked. So what do you have to say on that?
Um, I mean, the Northeast Mainland Division, it has been there. I would not deny that. But in my own in my own opinion, I would say that this division has been created by the people who are actually supporting the teams. So there is no denial that this division will continue to exist. But what I want this division to bring out the best players. I mean, to be honest, if you just look, I mean, just stop considering everything that unfair things that have happened, but just consider just one fact: ABM, a team which is not from Northeast, has won the Northeast Cup. How does it sound? It does not sound good, right? So if the Northeast Cup was actually named Indian Cup or something like that, it would have sounded great when ABM won it. But the fact that you have attached the name Northeast to the entire tournament, and then the ones who won it are not even from the Northeast, so that has actually divided the people even more. So, and I'm not again going to deny this, but if Northeast people were better, we could have actually won it, right? To be honest, even if the other person was playing from home, even if he was using hacks, which I'm not even sure of, because some people are actually accusing him of doing that.
Okay.
So So if you consider all these things, all right, and if you
Mm-hmm.
just look at it as a bigger picture, that ABM has
Mm-hmm.
won the Northeast Cup, so it does not
Mm-hmm.
really feel great as a
Mm-hmm.
person who is from Northeast. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want that to not happen, then of course Northeast, as the as most of the players are here, so you have to step up your game.
Mm-hmm.
You have to really step up, because we all know the Bengal server is the hardest server
Mm-hmm.
among all the
True.
servers,
Mm-hmm.
and people usually say that all the time, but the players playing on the hardest server have lost to the players playing in the easiest server. How does that sound now?
Wait,
So yeah,
you just say easy server?
of course Mumbai server, you don't really have too many players, so the competition is not
Uh-huh.
really high.
That's true. That's
Even
true.
even people from the Philippines, they come to the Mumbai server to rank up using
Mm.
VPN. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not even something that people don't know, because there are a lot of teams that do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And even the Delhi server is not so populated server, because the players
Mm-hmm.
are less.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's a little bit more than Mumbai, but Mumbai is the least, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
if you talk in that sense, then Bengal is the hardest. So yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
hardest server have been defeated. Just like
Mm-hmm.
MOBA Zain said, Malaysia is the easiest server, and he got defeated. So something like that has happened.
Oh no, MOBA Zayn is in the scene again. I mean,
Yep.
talking about Jay, okay? I mean, this is what I've heard from Radium. This is not coming from me.
Hmm.
My words. This is from the previous episode from Radium. That this is what he said. I think the organizers, they do not communicate to the audience, because even for me, like when I was watching the stream, suddenly Jay popped up in the screen. I was like, who is this? Is this the camera
Oh.
guy? Like, is there some kind of like glitch? That was what I thought. I was like, everyone, I think that was everyone's question. Who is this guy suddenly popping on the screen? And then later on, we came to know that it's Jay, who is ABM's player. I think what was failed, what was done, should have been done, was like from my end. What I think is, at least, and the audience had the right to know. I mean, because they were the one who was really keeping up with to uplifting, elevating the whole thing. So everyone, I'm not sure, because I was not there on the land, right? How much information was given to both the team, no idea. But a communication to be given, there was no communication given that Jay could play from home. Like, there was an exception, which you mentioned too, right?
Yep.
So again, the question: do you think if it was another team, okay, let's just say Meow Meow Gang, who is recently rising up, okay, do you think they would also be there would have been an exception for them?
Well, that's a really hard question to answer, because I mean, if I say yes, then of course there are nice pointing at me. If I say no, there are still nice pointing at me. But actually, the thing is, any team, let it be any team, they should not have been allowed. And the fact that
Mm-hmm.
ABM was allowed makes it even more suspicious that it was ABM Cup, like everyone is saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Uh-huh.
So because of that, I feel like yeah, nobody should have, no team should have been allowed to do that, but ABM was
Mm-hmm.
allowed. And the reason why, and that the fact that people are calling it ABM Cup right now,
Mm.
it seems justified because of that act.
Mm. I don't remember which stream was it where I think um they were talking about why calling the people from the mainland, I mean ABM and DS, all these other team, when it is Northeast Cup. So somebody from the back, I think it was like they were just having a chat in Discord, and somebody from the back said the name of the cup is Northeast is because it was, the location was in Northeast. It doesn't mean that it's a Northeast only for
Oh,
Northeast Cup. That was what I've heard in that live. Okay, so
okay.
yeah, that is what I've heard from the one who was I forgot what live was that, but yeah, I will definitely, put the link down below as well. Once I find it out, I'm sure. I mean, the source would still be there. Okay, so if I'm wrong, prove me wrong, guys. Okay, so that is what I've heard about it, and I mean, the thoughts that you have been sharing, Fredo. I mean, it's you clearly. I mean, you deeply care about the community. That's what I'm. That's what I am getting from whatever you have to say about it. So as an organizer, now you know what have been done wrong. What do you think as an organizer? What are the initiation that you are willing to take?
Well, first thing is we're not going to treat anyone, specially. All right, let it be the good teams, let it be the bad teams. In certain situations, you need to make draws happen, right, to match up the teams. So we're planning to do that on a live stream as well, so that we don't upset the viewers who are watching, because sometimes it feels like the unfair matchmaking has been done. Like, you get placed with a good team in the first round, like team which is better than you, so you lose the first match and you feel like it has been unfair. So it might happen that two teams matching with each other, two good teams matching up with each other on the first round itself, the first team gets knocked out, and then we don't try to make a wild card happen just because of that, like it happened in the Northeast Cup. Because in the Northeast Cup, what happened was Lafukabi actually, they were kicked out in the first round itself.
Yes.
So that was kind of surprising to everyone.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not really sure about the news, but I heard that the enemy was actually getting piloted or something. So issues like that happen as well. So we're going to take into account of the piloting issues as well, because we're going to be taking in the name of the devices and everything. And we're going to have a check when they are going to play about the devices, so that we see the login history and we're sure that it's being played free and fair, right? So yeah, with that, that is how I think we are going to conduct the tournament right now. Like, no favoritism, checking the devices, like making sure it's fair and all that. And no wild card, no special treatment, no nothing. It's going to be free and fair for everyone. Everyone who deserves it is going to get a chance at the prize pool, at the tournament, at the glory that they deserve.
Yes, definitely. All right. So again, we are we are very grateful. I mean, the insight that you're giving us right now about. I mean, I feel so hopeful for what's coming next year, Fredo. I know you have a lot in your hand as well currently. I mean, the statement that you made, I hope it's not just a statement, but also we will be able to see some real changes at the same time, because we know that internet can really, how would I put it? You can either make use of the internet, or either you can misuse the internet. I mean, the communicating, in communicating. So I really hope that whatever you're saying in this podcast is really come true, and then when we do the follow-up, we could laugh about it, and we could remember 9, we had a discussion about it, and finally it happened. I really hope that really happened. And regarding coming back to what I said about the Northeast Cup thing, were you aware of that?
The thing about the short video that you talked about.
Yeah. I mean, not was it short? No, it's not short. It's a whole live session.
Oh, somebody shouting the the Northeast Cup thing and all that, right?
Yeah, I mean, like somebody from the back saying, like, I don't know who's. Some casters were discussing together, and somebody was saying from the backside.
Oh, all right. That Northeast Cup does not just belong to the Northeast. It also belongs to India, right? Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, were
So
you aware of that?
No, I have not really seen that video.
Oh,
I've not really seen that video, but if it's true, and if something happened like that, then it's fine, because of course Northeast is a part of India, and everybody has a chance at getting the Northeast Cup. But of course, the fact that the name Northeast is attached to it, so the people of Northeast should feel like this cup would have belonged to them. I mean, having teams like IGN play as well, we know how good this team has been. I mean, it has been there since ages. I mean, ever since this game stepped into India. So the legacy that it carried forward till date. So it was not able to win the Northeast Cup, the first ever Northeast Cup, the first LAN event, like the biggest LAN event, which has been like in interstate type of LAN event. Because usually we see these LAN events happening in one state itself, like the local people know about it. So yeah, as that kind of big event where we would have wanted a team from Northeast to win it, because Northeast has been the hub of this game, to be honest.
Yes, that's
So
definitely.
yeah. So if a team from Northeast could have win it, then it would have been a really big moment for us. It would have given a boost to the entire community, and I think more players would have wanted to step up their game and prove that they are going to be the next IGN or something like that. But the fact that ABM won it, uh, and the fact that and in the way they won it actually, because of which the entire community, I feel like they have been the entire momentum which was going on about the event, the hype that they had, the emotions attached to it, uh, I think it has all went to drain or something like that. Like people are not really excited about this thing anymore. And that's
That's.
the yeah, and that's the reason why I put this video out, so people can have hope again.
Yes, we have seen that video really going viral, and we hope that people will continue to watch that as well. For those who haven't watched, the link is in the description down below. And yes, Fredo has really brought up some important points about the emotion being involved in this tournaments. So yeah, hopefully we will, as we are taking along this podcast, we will take in more. We will be right back. All right, welcome back to Spotlight with Nine, and with me, none other than Scared Yet will be joining with me on this podcast alongside Fredo, who has been an incredible guest and spilling the beans, let's put it that way, and spilling the truth. Okay, so I would give the light again to Fredo right away. You mentioned about the future possibility, even international being involved in your tournament. Is that correct?
Yep, that's what we are planning to do.
So that will need a lot of budgeting, isn't it?
Hmm.
So I mean, are you guys like really prepared? Because I know like for sure that even the LAN tournament that had happened, they had sponsorship from the like from many companies. So let's put in this way. Have you ever have you ever had an experience in LAN though?
I have witnessed LANs happening, like for other games, not for Mobile Legends. I've witnessed battleground LANs, BGMI, PUBG as you call it. I witnessed those LANs, and I felt really good about the way the events happened. But as a person, I mean, I was not even there for the Northeast Cup. I just watched the first day online as well. I did not even watch the finals until I heard about what happened. So yeah, it was the first day itself was a little bit disappointing, I would say, because of the quality of the stream and everything. So yeah, it was an overwhelming experience.
Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I was there. So, as a viewer's perspective, I genuinely would say I cannot deny that because there were so many things. And honestly, that's also a part of LAN where nothing is going to go as you plan, and everything is going to be basically improv on the spot. So, you have to be ready for everything. So, Fredo, now my next question is, since you'll also be doing a similar thing in the future, but that too, I would say, and fingers crossed, in a vastly great quality, how are you prepared, or are you prepared to handle such problems that might arise?
Well, I myself am not really experienced in organizing such a thing, but I do have people on my team that
Mm-hmm.
are experienced with these things. So, I mean, after the video got viral, I had a lot of people approaching me, and most of my friends whom I have been discussing with as well about from the past few months, they even got more hyped about the support that we got from the community. So because of that, we I mean, we were not even ready to take the responsibility, but after the support that we got, you can say we got really emotional, and we
Mm-hmm.
decided,
Mhm.
okay, then we're going for it all in for the community this time. And yep, like that, we're planning to do
Mm.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like
I
you said,
see.
scary. I know it's like your expectations are high from us, and that's why. I mean, it's not going to be just me. It's going to be a lot of people behind me, and a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
behind the organization who are going to organize as well. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think
Mm.
I trust on my team, and yeah, my team can do it. I believe in them.
Mm-hmm. So this will be majorly for the whole country, right?
Yes.
It's going to be a major tournament, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a very big tournament. Of course, like like every other tournament, you're going to have an online phase first before the LAN. So yeah, I definitely hope we'll get enough success in the online phase itself, so
Mm-hmm.
that we can secure even more budget for the LAN.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Now that
Okay.
you talk about more
Mm-hmm.
budget, right? So I'm a greedy person. I tend to get excited whenever there's money involved in something. I'm just kidding. I'm just I'm just kidding.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
okay,
So,
okay.
Fredo, what is going to be the prize pool of the event that you will bring forward? I know you can't really reveal it right away, but if in case you can hint us regarding some of that.
Well, day before yesterday, we have already shared a teaser kind of poster. We have not really,
Uh-huh.
revealed too much on it, but of course, the price pool was written there. We have
And that
revealed,
was
and the amount that we revealed is 4 lakhs. So
all
Mm-hmm.
right.
the details about how the 4 lakhs are going to be, we cannot really reveal about that. Yep.
Yeah, true, true.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable. That's what I wanted to know. So again, since the prize pool is going to be 4 lakh, I mean, rather than dwelling deep into this, I want to ask how experienced. You mentioned that your team is experienced, but how experienced are they? Is there any past event regarding the team that you can share, which you might
Yeah.
want to tell the other people? Because everyone will be like, yeah, we have done this event, that event. So, what events has your team done in the past?
Well, the team which we are actually in talk with two teams right now. We already have a team in hand, but we're still in
Mm-hmm.
talk with two other teams as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, of course we trust all of them, but the thing is, we need to get sure about who is actually going to commit totally in terms of the budget, in terms of everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after all of that, now we're going to finalize which team is going to do it. But for now, just talking about the teams in general, the first team that we're talking with, they have done tournaments in Sikkim, 3 LAN tournaments actually, and all of them for Mobile Legends, and all of them have been massively successful. At least if you talk about the local area,
Mm-hmm.
and we have one more team that has done events of Pokemon Unite actually,
Mm-hmm.
not MLBB but Pokemon Unite. So yeah, we're
Mm-hmm.
in talks with that team as well, and the team that we have decided to go with is not yet finalized, but both of these
Mm-hmm.
teams have shown their support for the thing that we're doing. So yeah, we're interested in talking with them as well, and we're currently in talks with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so coming back to the, I mean, since we're talking about your tournament, but also I just want to take us back to the previous statement that we were talking about regarding the, the your potential growth with your video, the one that have shaken up the community. I know it's going to be, again, it will be entire country. And we have noticed that in the other, in the other country, we have seen the unity among the community, right? I think we have
Yeah.
seen that, whether it in Philippines or Malaysia, but there's kind of the unity in among them. So here in our country, we have already, even before we are actually getting the scene, we are having so much division among ourselves. So what do you think, like what could be what are the possible approach that you can do to unite us together, like with the potential, the tournament that you are setting up?
Well, first and foremost, I think the tournament that we're trying to do here is just to bring up the potential players out there. It might be a good team, it might be a bad team. Like, bad team in the sense, not that they're completely outright bad, but not really known to the people. So those kind of teams, we're trying to bring them up as well by providing them the opportunity, by giving them a level playing field where we're not going to favor any other team just because they're any other team. So I think that will make the people feel more appreciated, especially the players. And I feel like if the players feel appreciated, and if their morale is high, then they can perform even better, better than the expectations. So of course, if you talk about teams like Divine Regime, which is from Nagaland, so they have the youngest player that we know, named Kyle. So that guy, I mean, people have actually known that he's a very young player, and he was actually playing in a LAN event at such an age. So people were actually hyped about it. But I don't really know the on ground stuff which happened in the LAN event. But if the on-ground stuff which happens there, if we provide them the right environment and the right atmosphere that they need as a player, like the people cheering for them wholeheartedly, the fans supporting them as well, and the overall the food, accommodation, the travel and everything, if we give them the best experience, I think they can perform their best. So yeah, I think that's what we need to do, to unite the players, because if the players play good, the community will get united. I mean, if you are denying a player who is playing good that he's playing good just because you hate, you support the other team and you hate the other team, then you're just a bad person. You're just a bad person. You're just a bad person who does not like esports. Okay, but if you think about the country first, then let it. I mean, whichever player it is, you're going to support that guy because you know that someday that guy is going to represent our country, and that I think if that feeling is there among the people, then definitely our people will get united.
Yeah, that, I mean, for us right now, our community, we have been like, because of the pandemic, and then again because of the ban and stuff like that, the passion that we carry is immense, because people were even using VPN, right, to play. So I think a lot of players out there who are not even recognized will get a platform, right? That's what I am getting from you, Fredo, right? To really showcase their talents, and also an international exposure is what they will be getting in. But also, let's not forget that we as a community, like as a community, we really have to consider a lot of things. For example, I'm not getting the word, but let me get it. I think Scared can help me in this regard. In what way will you call out the organizer? Because you also mentioned in your video where you call out to all the organizers, right? So in what way because it's not all about the players. If the organizers are not putting up for the players, then it's of no use, right? So as an organizer, what do you think that we can do better? Because right now, Vista, okay, I'm just saying the name, Vista is sponsoring a lot of sponsorship to so many let's say tournament organizers. And this is the first year that MOBA has been launched, and there are already so many things. They are not happy with this and that. Some organizers are coming that. So what are your say on that?
Well, the thing which I already mentioned in the video is that the sponsors, they should
Uh-huh.
actually verify some of, certain aspects, at least the technical aspects of the organizers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do they actually have a plan with them about the tournament that they're about to organize? Do they actually have enough people on their hand? Do they actually have streamers and casters ready? And all the technical stuff that you actually need to organize a tournament, the resources actually that you need. So
Mm-hmm.
unless you verify that they have that, I mean, if you don't verify it and if you just give away a tournament to somebody, just some random guy who just who just wants to grow his YouTube channel and
Mm-hmm.
maybe farm some views, farm some diamonds through the tournaments and whatnot, because you're going to get some tournaments, some diamonds from management as well. So if you just want to do that, then it's a very simple way of doing it. And because the organizers, sorry, the sponsors are quite lenient, because
Mm-hmm.
of that, they're taking advantage. And the level of the tournaments which have been happening right now, it has been just going down and down and down in the
Mm-hmm.
entire community. And the entire community is totally inactive right now, because I see these tournament streams where nobody's actually watching and there's no engagement or anything. Even if you say that you're going to give away skins and you're going to give
Mm-hmm.
away some freebies on the live stream, nobody still watches it. Why? Because you don't get anything out of it. The players
Mm-hmm.
are not, I mean, the players are not playing their best. And I mean, if you look at the screen, you're actually just looking at some random players just playing. There's the
Mm-hmm.
casting is not good, the overlays are not good, the transitions are not good. I mean, there's so much that can improve, but they just want the diamonds for themselves, so they won't spend the diamonds that the sponsors are giving on actually
Mm-hmm.
finding some good streamers, some good casters, editors, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and if these kind of things keep happening, then of course the entire ecosystem is going to get spoiled, very soon. So yeah, organizers, I mean the sponsors have to get really strict about you know giving away these tournament opportunities to people.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me one thing, Fredo. Just normally building up onto what you said, because what you said is absolutely correct. That is something that should not happen. And to be very honest, there was one of the countries where it actually did happen, and eventually all the development that they were having for the specific game, it got called off. It could be any other game, it could be the game that we're talking about, but I'm not gonna get into the details of it. But what you're saying is correct. At the same time, I wanted your opinion over the fact that what if the organizers are themselves not getting the proper budgeting of the tournament itself? Because there are a lot of teams that play out there, right? We have almost 300, 400 registrations. That's very normal for an event, and it also goes up to one of the upper limits that I've just seen for one of the big tournaments happening is 2,500 teams. So how would organizers manage the proper budgeting if in case they are not allowed enough budget from the other side? How do the organizers proceed in that case?
Well, in that case, I think you have to find sponsors. I mean, that seems to be the only option out there, because other than that, you cannot really do much. And the thing is, the 2,500 registration wala tournament that we're talking about here, I think they have done some previous work which has actually allowed the organizers, the sponsors, to give them the budget to be conducting this level of tournament. So I feel like I mean, if you're a new organizer, if you're a new tournament organizer,
Mm-hmm.
and if the the company gives you some budget, then work in that limit. And I mean, do the best that you can in the limit. Even if you're streaming with the phone, I mean, you can put on an overlay at least,
Mhm.
the over the screen, so that it does not look like you're just looking at like directly at the game, right? You have some overlays over them. I mean, it's not really hard if you have a good device. And if you don't really have a good device, if you cannot really do all these things, then just don't do it, please. I mean, that's my honest opinion out there. Just don't do it.
Mm.
If you think you cannot do it, then just don't do it.
That's a good
Don't do it
point.
for the sake of doing it. Yeah, I mean, even the people should understand, right? I mean, if
Yeah.
I
the
agree.
company is not there, yeah, the people should, yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, I feel like if you can do all those and if you can spend enough, then you can do it. And for giving about these big tournaments, which Scared said, for these big tournaments, you need to be having some prior experience because otherwise, I don't think the company will be giving such large scale projects to anybody else, right? So
True.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I get it.
see, right now the company is like, I've said it, the names, I'm going to say it again. Vista is like it's doing whatever it can in right now in its hand, providing all the organizers, but it's our responsibility. What I personally feel is the responsibility of the organizers to really deliver what they have given us, because right now, how many tournaments, let's 50, 30, have we reached that point? I mean, we're not even to the 100 mark yet, and with a small tournament that's coming up, and with the standard that you're giving us, right? I'm not, I mean, let's be really realistic. Like you said, most of them, they're just doing for view, yeah, view, not exactly for the community. So what does it really take for an organizer? I know you have mentioned it, but can you give us like more deeper thought into that about what does it really take to, because you are organizing a tournament, like, which is a proper one. That's what I'm getting from you. Even what does it really take for an organizer to put everything up there, and not just about those diamonds that Vista is providing us?
Well, the first thing that you need to do something like this is passion, because you're not. I mean, to be honest, I think everyone knows it. Esports is a loss industry. Esports is a loss industry. We don't. This is industry does not really get profit. I mean, people spend here so that they can get something out of it, and the people who are actually in the middle, the organizers, are usually the ones who have to bear the cost. Usually, at least in smaller scales. In the bigger scales, of course, you gain some profits out of it. But when we're talking about a scale like what I'm trying to do, as a nobody who enters this scene, it's actually a loss industry, because in the beginning you don't really get enough funds, first of all, and you're really dependent on connections. So, and if you're depending on connections, who are going to work free for you, your friends, your sometimes your family, sometimes those people that you just know, your acquaintances, all that. So people like that are involved. At least for me right now, it is. So these people who are involved with me right now, around 10 people or almost 20 people who are working with me right now, they are not really getting paid or anything. The only reason why they're doing is because of passion. And the way that I motivated them to do this is because I just told them that, I mean, just imagine if you had the platform, won't you pursue that esports dream of yours? And they said, of course we would. So I mean, we are, and I mean, we cannot really do it right now because there's no platform like that. So why don't we do it for the future? Do it for the people who are coming right after us, for the next generation. And that's how we have taken the initiative, and we have decided that we're not doing this for us, we're doing this for the community, we're doing this for the people who will be coming after us. We're laying the foundation right now so that you can live your dreams, you can, try to do something. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing that you need.
True. What are that? That's some good words, right? And I'm really glad that you've got a few friends as well who are helping you out. And it does seem like Fredo. I was having a few doubts earlier when I heard about everything, but they're getting clearer and clearer now that you do have an idea of what you want to do, and you've got a few experienced people as well for that. So we all went through the Northeast Cup, and to be very honest, I think so. There's going to be some important stuff coming out regarding them as well. I'm not going to drop in a lot of spoilers, people, but for all the people who are watching it, for watching the podcast, and who want to know some spicy things, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, because there would be a future event where who knows, quote unquote, a few people who were there might tell you a few things of the other side. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and also the bell notification so that you don't miss out on that spice. But coming back to the topic right now, Fredo, since we all witnessed the Northeast Cup and now you're looking forward to your own tournament as well. By the way, what's the name of your tournament?
Uh, we wanted, I mean, the name that we're going with right now is the MOBA Challenger Cup. But
Huh?
because we want this to feel more Indian, we want the people to associate their emotions of our country with it. I think we're going to change it to MOBA Challenger Cup India. So MCCI, something like that.
Oh, MCCI. Nice, nice, nice. All right. So we witnessed the NEC, and now we're probably looking forward to the MCC/MCCI. What are the things that you're going to do differently from NEC to make MCCI better?
I mean, to be honest, NEC was not a tournament because we don't do tournaments that way. We don't make somebody play from home at a LAN event, at a final, that too, at a final. So, I mean, that's just outright. I don't really know what to say, but if you talk about our tournament, it's going to be a tournament. That's all I can say. It's going to be a tournament.
If it's a tournament, it's going to be a tournament.
Yeah, it's going to be a tournament. It's not going to be like not a tournament. It's going to be like a tournament. That's all I can say. I mean, we are going to do a tournament and we are going to do a tournament. What's going to be special about it is that it's going to be the first proper tournament. Yep.
That's a lot of responsibility on your shoulder. So also I want to even I know we are running out of time, but Fredo, again, like as we are coming to the end of the show, I mean I want you to talk a little bit more on the player perspective now. I know we have talked a lot about the organizers, the initiation that they have to do, even the steps that are not professional, and we have gone through a list of them. But I want to come on the player side. What do you think it takes for the player to really commit to that level? Because let's get real straight. Esport, you yourself said that it give no assets, right? I mean, it comes totally out of passion. So what do you want to say to the people out there who wants to pursue in esports with the promises that you're making right now?
First things first. Uh, First things first. When you come here into the world of esports, you don't come here like you just mentioned, and like I said before, you don't come here because you want to make money or you will get a very good, what to say, a lot of money, and of course the money is a byproduct of everything. So you're not coming here because you can earn money. You're not coming here because you don't have any other career option, and this feels like a career option, because this is definitely not the best career option out there. But you come here because you have the passion and you feel like you can be the best here, and you feel like I can do it, I can make it to the top, or something, like you want to represent your country, you want to make your parents proud, your family proud, your country proud, your state proud, whatever. You just want to do something out of the talent that you have in esports, and that's why you come to this place and you think like you can make a career out of it. Because yeah, because when
I
you
mean,
come here you don't really have anything.
yes, that's.
True.
I mean, I think even in the first episode, Scared, and even Zeta himself, he mentioned this, that first you focus on your career. Esport comes along the passion. You only step in when you have the full-fledged, like that it's going to bring the bread on the table, right? So the young player like what's that, from the Divine Regime as well.
Kyle.
They have, yeah, Kyle. He have a long way to go yet, right? But he have, when it comes to his talents in esport, he has a long way to go yet. Also knowing that we are Indians. Let's come back to that real. We are Indians and nothing is impossible. But is it really is it kind of like it sound very fantasy to me to to fantasize that I have a lot of team with me right now. Even in my team C3, we have like around 7 of them, and I am always constantly thinking, because they are working their ass off, I cannot let them, I cannot let them just go like that, being unpaid. How, like, the commitment that you guys are making, will it be just like for a while, or is it going to be like, no, going to pull it up until we make it true, fake it until you make it time?
Yep, we're definitely going to do that because I the only reason why I'm starting the only reason why I'm starting to do these things is only
Mm-hmm.
because of the support that I got on my video, the people
Mm-hmm.
that have put the trust in me. I mean, it's overwhelming, to be honest. It's overwhelming
Mm-hmm.
because it's not just people who are Indians, it's people from outside as well. And
Mm-hmm.
some people actually came into my DMs, and the way they talked about the things, and it seems like, I mean, they have made me their messiah or something like that, to be honest, the
Mm-hmm.
way they talk to me, the way they look up to me, and just
Mm-hmm.
because of one video, I mean, the way people's perspective can change.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I also took this responsibility on myself. I mean, I put this responsibility on myself to do something, to
Mm-hmm.
not let the people who have put their trust in me down,
Mm-hmm.
and yep, to do something, yep, to do something for the community, yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's great that you have really taken up the responsibility. Okay, that you're talking for yourself, right? But what about your team, though? Like, how much they are really up for it?
Well, to be honest, they are so passionate. I mean, I feel like they're more passionate than me sometimes,
Oh
because
yeah.
one of my closest colleague,
Uh huh.
partner, friend, brother, whatever you call him, this guy, I mean, I did not even meet him too long ago. It has been just a few months. I mean,
Mm.
people say you usually, when you just talk to someone, you feel that connection, right? And this guy,
Mm.
his passion, his hunger, his drive,
Mm.
he is the one who said, let's do a tournament to me. He is the
Mm.
one who started. It was not even me.
Mm.
And now, because of him, I made, because of him, I mean, his passion infected me, you can say. His
Mm.
passion infected me, and now it has infected everyone who surrounds him. And we are all here just because of because of his passion. And now his
Mm.
passion is reflecting in our work as well. And that
Mm.
video, to be honest, the spark, that made me made that video is in that
Mm.
guy. So yeah,
Oh,
I
so
really want to
that
shout out to
guy.
that guy.
So he's the one
Who is
behind
that
the
guy?
video.
Who who is that guy?
His name is Nihal,
Oh,
and
shout
he's
out
a
to
really,
Nihal.
really close friend of mine. Yep.
Oh,
That's
Shout out
actually
to
good,
Nihal.
Fredo. That's actually
yeah.
good.
Yeah, that.
I kind of wanted to ask you a few things as well regarding the current events. Since you mentioned that it's a spark, we always love the spark, but there are a lot of times when either that spark turns into a wildfire or that spark extinguishes. So,
Yep.
looking at the passion that you share and your entire team share, are we expecting something after the conclusion of the MCC or the MCCI? Will we see a few more plan outs of your entire organization in the same direction? Or is it just a one time thing?
Well, of course, we. The thing is, we're going to give this one shot or everything. We're going to give
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
everything in this one shot. If we are able to make something out of it, then of course we're going to continue forward. But if it, I mean, I don't even want to think about this thing that that we're going to. I just don't even want to talk about it. But if we succeed, and I think we will succeed, and I believe that we will succeed, and if we succeed, yes, we are going to go forward with what we are doing right now, and we're going to lay a platform for
Mm-hmm.
this young generation talent which is out there, which needs to be discovered, which needs to be found, which needs to
Mm-hmm.
be developed, and which needs to grow and find that platform on the international
Mm-hmm.
stage for our country. Yep, that's all I can say.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I agree because eventually what happens is that a lot of players, people, and even the you could say event members, the part of the production group itself, they sometimes put themselves out of their comfort zone to be in those places. So I think so. Since you mentioned that this is also a ground where you guys are going to give your 100%, I really hope and wish, fingers crossed, the players also do the same thing and also the audience does the same thing because it is an important one. But at the same time, I kind of really hope that you guys prepare a roadmap of what's coming later as well, because that
Yep.
is what provides a solid opportunity. It's just like we're
Mm-hmm.
working in a company. You sit in a company who you know is not going anywhere and who is there for a long run. That's why a lot of
Yeah.
people choose companies like Amazon, Infosys, even TCS, because you know it's going to be there, it's not going anywhere. So there's a sense of security. And in esports, this is a very dynamic industry which changes as soon as the day changes. So
Mm-hmm.
there are some players out there, in fact, most of the players who really would love that security. So
Mm-hmm.
having a roadmap of not just 2 months, 3 months in advance, but rather for at least 6 months or even a year is something that would give them the security as well. Now that brings me to my next question. So you mentioned about the passion of the players, which obviously is eventually fueled by the love for the game. But don't you think it's already been a lot of years since 2020 that the passion was the one thing that was carrying, but now it's high time that we bring in some rewards, and that is not the diamonds I'm talking about, but rather full-fledged cash rewards for the players so that they can fully commit to it and not focus on anything else in their life, but rather focus on this one thing, which was their passion from the beginning.
Definitely. That is why we're bringing this tournament with cash rewards. I mean, it has already been started right now, in the community. A lot of organizers bringing in cash rewards, and we are also trying to do the same. But of course, we wish them luck. We want the best for them as well, because of course, in the end, all me and my team wants is to grow the community. So if they do well, I'll be really happy as well. But
Mm-hmm.
of course, I'm not really sure about them,
Mm-hmm.
because the reaction that I got from all the other organizers, it was it was really a bit, what to say, a bit shocking actually, because they actually stopped talking. Some of them, some of them actually
Mm-hmm.
stopped talking to me after I
Mm-hmm.
revealed that small poster, and some of them started inquiring too much, which about information that I cannot really share. And when I
Mm-hmm.
denied them the opportunity to talk about it, they straight out, I don't know, unfriended me or something like that. But I don't really
Mm-hmm.
feel the same way about them, because I have even told in my live stream, which happened yesterday, that I think our tournament is going to clash with many others, so we're not really planning to do it in January. So if you guys are planning to participate in a tournament in January, then you should, surely take part in the Indian series and the MOBA India Challenge and something like that. All those tournaments, big ones, which are happening right now with the cash prize pools, and even MOBA Masters, which is brought
Mm-hmm.
by Zeta, the guy who
Mm-hmm.
actually gave me the break into this esports world. So you
Mm-hmm.
should take part in those tournaments right now, because those tournaments are bringing in crash rewards. And if you're able to win it, then of course you'll get the confidence boost, and even the tournament and even the community, when they see you win it, they are also going to get that fuel that you, like you said, scared. I mean, you need that fuel to go forward, and it has to be that money, right? So yeah, that will drive the passion even more. So take part in those tournaments, I would say. For now, in January,
Mm-hmm.
those tournaments are open, and if you guys are listening to this, make sure you take part in it, because this is going to be one of the first, cash prize pool tournaments out there.
Thank you so much, Fredo, once again, and yes, to all the players out there and even organizers. Let's come, let's join a hand instead of really going against each other, or even having this feel of who's better than who. Rather, let's come together, join our hands to bring the community together. And even to all the players out there, your squad, whether you're big or small, if you're listening to this, you guys matter to the community. So make sure that whether it's a big community or it's a big organization or a small organization, to participate in there, because all your participation matters. You bring your contribution really matters. That's what I would want to say, even from my end. So yes, tune in to all the tournament that's coming in, and yes, I hope that we will have more underdog team that is going to rise in this coming next year. And yeah, once again, Skedia, thank you so much for being a part of this podcast and being my co-host. And yeah, thank you to you too, Fredo.
Thank you.
Always here. Thank you for having both of us, and it was really amazing to talk to you, Fredo, as well. And I'm looking forward to the MCCI.
Thank
Yes.
you, Scared. Thank you, Nine.
You're most welcome, Fredo, and thank you so much for those eye-opening discussion, Fredo. And I want to thank you again for being so candid, for sharing your perspective right away. And any final words for the community before we wrap it up?
I'd like to say a few lines to all the players and the audience out there, because of course the organizers, I don't really think they'll be listening to me. So yeah, to the audience, to the players, to the community out there, the tournaments which are happening right now, mine, anybody else's, please support it wholeheartedly. And if you see any sort of unfair things happening, which you think, and when I say unfair, I mean literally unfair. I do not mean your own team. I mean biasness towards your own team will be not tolerated, but biasness towards other team will be tolerated. Nothing like that. Please be fair, because only fair things can last. So make sure you support all these tournaments. Make sure you watch these players as well. And if you feel like a player is actually playing good, then comment down their plays. Like, look at that guy, the way he's playing. I mean, hype them up, hype up the casters, hype up the organization, and let's make it work, right? I mean, how long are we going to... I'm tired, honestly. I've been playing this game since 2018, and I'm tired. I'm tired of cheering for Indonesian teams and Filipino teams, and I want to cheer for an Indian team, because the time when I saw Apex go to MSC, I was so thrilled to see two Indians actually playing, but they were not actually playing for my country. When I found it out, I was really sad. But yeah, so I really want to cheer for my country. I want to see my country up there at the top stage, and that is why, guys, it's not really possible if the community does not support it. So all we need to do is watch them play. All we need to do is support them when they're playing. And yeah, with that, I would like to say, yeah, please support the community. Please support us, so that we can take those young talents to the international stage, so that India gets a chance, and so that everyone else gets a chance. Yep, that's it.
Oh, definitely. It'll be a dream come true to cheer for our own country out there. That is the shared vision that we all carry, and hopefully we will continue to do so in the coming year. And even as we wrap up this podcast, I'm sure this will be the past few months have been an eye-opening to many organizers as well, with different perspective as well. But together, I mean, to all the organizers out there, together we are a community. We are not we are under the same roof. So yeah, let's go ahead and strive to get our community to a better stage. And hopefully, even as we are growing, I hope we foster on that value of being fairness and bringing more innovations among our esports community. And also to Vista, a message for you. Thank you for bringing in this community again, for reviving. I mean, it has always been there, the contribution that you have made. thank you for that. But also, we hope that we will see more, that you will outlook for more potential organizers who are also capable of hosting more tournaments, because we have a very potential potential community that is stirring up right now among our community. As we close the year, let's wrap it up with positive energy, holding a very brighter future for our community. And thank you for supporting this podcast. It means a lot. Keep supporting, and we'll continue to bring on the guests you have been asking for. Wishing you all in advance Happy New Year. See you all in the next podcast 2025, and let's continue to build a community we can all take pride in. Thank you.